Once again, pro-Palestinian protests are filling the streets of cities across the country, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. As Israel becomes increasingly isolated and both the Tories and Labour are divided on arms sales, the Stop the War coalition says it's vital they keep up the pressure from the streets of the capitals for an immediate ceasefire and an end to UK weapons sales. OK, not listening so far, are they? Joining me now is GB News reporter Jack Carson, who is live on the streets with the marchers for us. Jack, good afternoon. What's happening behind you now?
Well, the marches have started. Remember, when an hour ago they hadn't started yet. They've now started. We've just reached Aldwych on the route of these protests. Now the pro-Palestine protests are heading towards Embankment to line up and protest further in Parliament Square. But I was talking earlier about a counter-protest. What we've got now here is we've got to the point at Aldwych where we've now got these pro-Israel protesters there's placards saying Hamas are terrorists. There's lots of course, Israeli flags, a couple of union flags as well. But what we've got now is this confrontation from both sides, because the other side of me here, walking around Aldwych, we've also got the pro-Palestine protesters. I mean, there's one man that's been shouting Zionist terrorists up towards the pro-Israel protesters, both sides chanting the likes of shame on you at each other. Now, of course, the pro-Israel protesters got permission to have a static position alongside the march here, and that's what they've done, is these thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters march by me here. Of course, the aim of the protest initially, I mean, they've been going on for 6 months now. Of course, it started as a ceasefire march, now moving towards the angle of stop arming Israel. Now, there is pressure on the government from his own Conservative MPs, the likes of Paul Bristow as well, been very vocal against Rishi Sunak and his decision, of course, at the moment to not cease arms sales to Israel. But it's difficult as well for the Labour Party. There's plenty of banners from the pro-Palestine protesters to say dump Starmer. They are unhappy with his position so far on that conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza as well. The Sadiq Khan, he's probably been one of the most vocal Labour figures that's come out against the arms race, the arms deals that, of course, the UK has with Israel after those humanitarian workers were killed, of course, just a couple of weeks ago. But it's not just in the UK. In Scotland, Humza Yousaf's been very vocal, saying that the government should consider its position. So that's really why these pro-Palestine marches have now got this new burst of energy from the people that are supporting that cause on that point of stop arming Israel. But as you can see here, thousands of people marching once again towards Parliament Square, where they are going to line up. There's another counter-protest at the Cenotaph. That is done by Turning Point UK, but the designated route these protesters has been given has not been told to go down Whitehall, so there shouldn't necessarily be a confrontation between those two. Of course, we know the police officers policing this protest have new powers under the new protest laws, that they can arrest individuals who stray from the likes of the designated path and go into the areas which the Metropolitan Police have called no-go areas. But this protest continues up towards Parliament Square.
Jack Carson on the march today.